Multiple sclerosis, MS, is a long-term illness where the body's defense system attacks the brain and spine, causing many different symptoms. These can include what doctors call neurological signs, such as numbness and tingling, but also tiredness or changes in mental health. For women living with MS, pregnancy can be a particularly tricky time that requires extra medical care, as symptoms may change and medications might need adjustment, situations that can cause uncertainty and stress. This is especially important because MS often begins in young adulthood, which is exactly when many people are thinking about starting a family. Although research has made great progress in understanding how pregnancy affects MS and how to manage treatment safely, less is known about the mental health challenges that might come up during this time. In order to examine how pregnancy affects mental health in women with MS, scientists from the University Medical Center Hamburg-Eppendorf tracked women with MS during pregnancy and after giving birth, using different psychological questionnaires. Do stress, mood, and tiredness actually change during pregnancy in women with MS? Let's find out. But why study psychological symptoms in pregnant women with MS? Maintaining good mental health during pregnancy is important not just for the mother, but also for the child. If mothers feel anxiety and depression during pregnancy, it can increase the risk of problems like babies being born too early. In addition, stress during pregnancy may affect the developing brain and behavior of the baby. MS can increase the risk of mental health difficulties, with anxiety, depression, and tiredness being among the most common symptoms. Pregnancy on its own can raise the chance of mental health problems. Because both MS and pregnancy are risk factors for mental health challenges, studying their combined impact is very important. How did the researchers study this? The researchers tracked mental health of 95 women with MS throughout pregnancy until after birth. Therefore, the study participants were assessed at 5 or 6 different time points: before pregnancy, if possible, during each trimester, 2 weeks and 3 months after giving birth. To measure mental health, the researchers used trusted surveys to measure how serious the depression was, how stressed and tired the women felt. In addition, they collected important information, like the women's age, how serious their MS was, and any other health problems they already had. The researchers used computer programs, SPSS and RStudio, to study the questionnaire data. Because missing answers can make results less trustworthy, they filled in small gaps with the person's average score, which is a commonly used strategy, or left the questionnaire out if too many answers were missing. They used regression, a way of finding links between different things, and mixed models, a way of tracking changes across pregnancy and after birth. What did they find out? Over the course of pregnancy and after giving birth, women with MS did not experience an increase of depressive symptoms. Stress levels and overall tiredness also remained roughly the same throughout pregnancy and after birthing their baby. Around 1 in 5 women faced a medium to high chance of getting depression after birth. Interestingly, women whose MS symptoms worsened during pregnancy were more likely to experience higher levels of depression after birth. But having a disability at the start of pregnancy did not mean a woman was more likely to get depression after birth. How good was this study? The study was done with a relatively small group of 95 women with MS, so larger studies would help to confirm the findings. Some women only joined the study once they were already pregnant, so researchers don't have information about their health before pregnancy. This makes it harder to see how things changed over time. Some questionnaires the authors used have not been officially validated in German language. Without official testing in German, we can't be sure the surveys work the same way as they do in other languages. Finally, the women in the study were more highly educated than average, so the results may not reflect all women with MS. The study also had many strengths. It followed women with MS closely through pregnancy and after birth, giving a full picture across all stages, which is quite an undertaking, especially in such a large group. The researchers used careful maths to make sure their results were trustworthy. This study is important because it looks at something we still know little about: how pregnancy and MS affect mental health, and the findings can help doctors give better care. But what's the key message? The study suggests that for most women with MS, pregnancy does not lead to increased stress, depression, or tiredness, which can be comforting for both the women and their doctors. However, mental health can be affected if MS symptoms worsen during pregnancy. This is why women with MS need regular checkups and support, including mental health care if needed, during pregnancy and after birth.